Now, at least 40 Palestinians have been killed in Israeli airstrikes on a tent encampment in Khan Yunis. Gaza's health authorities have confirmed this. They also claim that a designated humanitarian zone, the Al-Mawasi-based encampment housing displaced Palestinians, was hit by at least 4 missiles. In the latest, Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant has claimed that Hamas's military capabilities have been severely damaged after more than 11 months of war and that it no longer exists as a military formation in Gaza. Earlier in the day, a convoy of vehicles of the United Nations that was detained by Israeli military in the Gaza Strip was finally released. The Israeli Defense Forces, also known as the IDF, said in a statement that they were acting following intelligence that a number of Palestinian suspects were present in the convoy and that it wanted to question them. The head of the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees said on social media that the convoy was stopped at gunpoint just after the Wadi Gaza checkpoint and held for more than 8 hours despite prior detailed coordination. And during this time, the head also said that bulldozers caused heavy damage to the UN armored vehicle. I'm quoting from the statement, all staff and convoy are now released and back safely in the UN base. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he's doing everything to win the war in Gaza and at the same time get Hamas to return the hostages.
I hear the cry of the families of the hostages. I hear the cry of the families who have lost what is most dear to them. My wife and I go to heartbreaking meetings that just breaks our heart to pieces. I hear, I listen. I don't judge either. And I'm doing everything to return the hostages and to win the war.
Meanwhile, a U.S. Deputy State Department spokesperson fended off questions about whether the country was being slow to respond to the killing of a 26-year-old Turkish-American Ezgi Egi shot in the head at a demonstration in West Bank. The spokesperson said that U.S. was still speaking to Israeli allies about the shooting. Witnesses alleged that it was done by Israeli military gunmen at a period when the demonstration was calm.
Well, we still don't know with full certainty what transpired and what happened, and that's why we are working to get as much information as we can, as well as encouraging our partners in Israel to quickly and robustly conduct and conclude their process and make their findings public so we can understand what happened.
And to tell us what's happening on the ground in Gaza, Jody Cohen, our correspondent, has more.
Yes, there have been quite a few developments. Firstly, Israel has detained 3 Palestinians from the West Bank, planning an imminent terror attack, they say, in central Israel, and that they seized their weapons. Secondly, rockets from Gaza have been fired at Ashkelon, a major city in southern Israel. Thirdly, the IDF said that they targeted a Hamas command center by Khan Yunis, which Hamas embedded in a humanitarian zone, that they took multiple steps to minimize harm to civilians. Now, Hamas has denied its gunmen were there, although military experts have repeatedly said that Hamas embeds itself in civilian areas as a cover for their activities. Now, fourthly, a convoy belonging to UNRWA was stopped by the IDF. UNRWA has said that the polio vaccination campaign could be paused as a result. The IDF said it delayed the convoy after receiving intelligence that several unauthorized Palestinians had snuck onto the convoy. Now, fifthly, Hamas has claimed a drone strike which hit a residential building in Nahariya, a large city in northern Israel. Hezbollah also claimed responsibility for a barrage of rockets at the Western Galilee. Now, Israel has warned Hezbollah to retreat back to the UN-recognized boundary, that's the Litani River, and to stop firing rockets, or it would have to take military action. And a US official has reportedly said that a war between Hezbollah and Israel could be catastrophic.
And the latest developments, not just in Gaza but across West Asia, have hampered the hostage for ceasefire deal. Jody Cohen reports on the current status of the deal.
So it's been a particularly hard week since the 6 hostages were executed by Hamas. And many people have expressed to me that they really feel like they did back just after the 7th of October. Now, a recording has been leaked of Prime Minister Netanyahu paying a condolence visit to Rabbi Elchanan Danino, the father of Ori, who's one of those hostages executed. Now, Rabbi Danino suggested that unity is the most important defense. He said he didn't know if the hostage release deal was close or not, but he criticized the Prime Minister for engaging in politics and for the 7th of October happening on his watch. Now, Netanyahu said that he can't say what goes on behind closed doors, but he said it's not only Hamas and Hezbollah, but, quote, it's an atomic weapon they'll drop here on all of us, referring to Iran. Now, this really epitomizes the continued debate in Israel on how far Israel should go for a deal for the hostages versus the belief that Hamas isn't interested in a deal, that it's interested in regional war. Now, according to an anonymous US official, President Biden is meeting the top advisors to discuss efforts for a deal. The official reportedly said that the US is growing frustrated with Hamas's demands, but that they hope that Qatar could persuade Hamas to take a more reasonable position.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.